Hi,
Keep the music going, man. I thought
welcome back.
aren't you gonna keep the music? Can
Sorry.
it be background music? Can
You
it
can
like
listen to that all freaking day, right?
man, it's just it grooves and you created that, right?
I didn't.
Oh,
I
are
stole
we
it.
are we gonna get taken down again
Yeah,
for
we're going to
using
be removed, and North Korea, our best country, is not going to be able to hear us any longer.
I wanna break the record. I wanna break Sam Novak's record for getting taken down on social media. The guy what is the guy? He always puts pretty people are attracted to me. Shit people are attracted to me. Well, censorship is attracted to him too, I think. What do you think?
Well, that's a really good way to start our fourth episode. That's right. Episode number 4. Hey, for those of you that haven't heard episode number 3, it's aptly titled Bulging and Discs. It's kind of a play on the terms of what we both have, bulging discs. Sorry. I slept out the wrong way. But yeah, it's up on all the aggregators right now. You can find it on Spotify. You can find it on Apple Music. If you're listening to it in the car, we've got a bunch of people paying attention to us already. We've got an incredible episode today. Not only do we have to get in and talk about this first Reckless in Vegas Unplugged show, but we have the world famous Mark O'Toole on the show with us today.
No drum roll? You did no drum roll. You just went right into it, man. You got to learn to tease a little bit, bro. Little Lavender, man. Little Lavender. Huh?
My bad. My bad.
Good to see you, brother.
What was that?
Good to see you.
It's good to see you too, my friend. It's
Yeah.
I want to say I was at your show this last weekend at Notoriety, and we haven't really talked about this.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
was
sorry
left
for
a
everything.
little I was left a little vanilla.
Really?
Yeah, I felt the vanilla of the room.
Well, I wanted to save the lavender for our show, and I
I
don't
get
want
it.
to give the lavender for that. So the vanilla, I'm not a vanilla fan. Maybe people who are watching us can chime in what their favorite flavor is, because we can add that flavor to the show. What do you mean a little vanilla? Really?
Let's talk about the show. Why don't we get into everybody? Tell me about your show. What was your take? You had a wonderful sold out room, oversold, right? Let's talk about that. You'd sold more seats. Nobody called the fire marshal and nobody came in to shut the fucker down. It was really, really well done. And I think, I want to hear what your take was on your return to the stage, a little softer, a little unplugged, not as rocky as the full show. But how did you feel the night went?
It's always a pleasure, as you know, before a show, when you find out, oh my God, we got to add more tables. We're oversold, and that made me feel pretty good to go out to that. But that audience is such a warm audience, man. I felt like the band played great. I'm so grateful. You walk out to a full room, you know how it is, man, and it's just like, oh, people did come to my birthday party, and people. That's one of my biggest fears is to have a birthday party and nobody comes, and oversold is definitely amazing. As far as I deal with a lot of nerves, right? You don't get nerves, right? You don't get
I
nerves.
don't. It's
Everyone
weird.
gets
I
nerves.
don't.
Your wife gets nerves though.
She does. Yeah.
Yeah. What about the rest of your band? Those guys all chill?
I don't talk to them.
Maybe that's
I
my
don't.
problem. I'm talking to everybody and I get nerves.
No, I mean, I don't even talk to them like friendly wise. I just they're
You have no idea what
no.
you play with these
I've never
guys.
asked anybody at the end. I used to get like excitement, right? Like I get
Yeah,
excited to go and do the shtick, but
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just one of those things that when you, I don't know, maybe because we've repeated our show so many times that I just feel comfortable wearing the same shoes. It's weird.
I
I
know
don't know.
that too, but even when we were doing the Sahara residency, it just was heightened. It was just every time I have to spend 5 minutes before I go in. I pray, I breathe, the whole thing. This thing, I actually felt as soon as I walked out on stage, I felt really warm and comfortable. I was a little nervous playing in the beginning, but then after a couple songs, it sort of warmed up. I thought Kelly Vaughn was spectacular.
She was great.
She's just a little
She was the
powerhouse.
highlight of the night for me.
Thank you. And and so Shay Arundel, which I love Shay. He's an amazing singer, but he wants everything in the original key of Elvis, and I refused to do it. I said, no, man. And we had a backup song, but we turned that into it. That was all improv off the cuff. I think my favorite part of the whole thing really was that it's so loose. You just don't know what's going to happen.
I wanted to say that was the most charming thing of it for me, because I've seen the full show and I now have seen the unplugged thing, and I felt what was really charming about and I think that's the right word, is that it was open, right? It was loose. I didn't want to use that term, but since you used it, I'm going to use it. But it allowed you to kind of fly by the seat of your pants, have some fun with the people that were clearly there, friends and family. And I was surprised how many people had not seen you before that you're in the room. You asked everybody, let's hear for if this is your first
I've seen us
show. And there were a lot of people. I want to say maybe at least half felt
maybe 30-40%, which was great, which is the goal, right? When you're doing your show, you want to be sure you're expanding your audience. And the fact that we gave lottery tickets away was pretty cool. That drawing is tonight, so if anybody's watching this and actually has lottery tickets, remember to check your numbers. And then also donating to St. Jude's Ranch for Children and Notoriety Gives. Kevin's got a lottery ticket. I've got 3 of them, so I hope I win. It just overall, man, I got to tell you too, you don't always get to come to the shows, and you being there is amazing. Aaron will talk about your wife, what she was, and we'll talk about that after we finish the show. So listen, we want to be sure we carve out at least 3-4 minutes for Marco Tool. Want to be sure we don't overindulge me, because we've just done that, even though it's my favorite subject.
No, this is great. I mean, we still got another 2.5 minutes to talk about you until we bring him into the room.
Oh, well,
okay, keep going. I'm going to just
no, don't bring him in yet. Don't do it. It's like a one. It's like
he hates this. He hates this.
Poof.
When we work through some of the technology, he's like, don't ever take you off the screen anymore. What is this? We just
I see nothing.
We got a comment. Let's see what this is.
A comment.
Sonia Feldberg. Hi, Michael. You want to come to class tomorrow, or Kevin, anybody? I had a last-minute cancellation. Let me know. We are in the new building. Do you know Sonia? Do I know Sonia?
You know Sonia, yeah. She teaches that class over at UNLV for seniors. It's amazing, and I've done it. I've had the pleasure of doing it a couple of times. Sonia, I cannot do it tomorrow. I don't know Kevin's schedule. I would totally jump on that, and I'm sorry about your cancellation. But how about a little notice? These people that cancel on you, Sonia, they should give you more notice. This is crazy. I wish I could.
Wow, you told me you had the whole day free tomorrow.
Yeah, right. You want me to show you my schedule?
Why are you saying that to Sonia?
Kevin, can you do it? It's fantastic. Everybody's so curious about entertainers. They want to ask questions.
Michael, you know what? Yes, I can do it tomorrow. I'm going to help Sonia out tomorrow.
You should.
Yeah,
Sonia, there you go.
I'm the one that steps up and helps out people.
Speaking of that, you have a show. Let's go to you. Our next show at Notoriety is April 20th. We're going to add a little electric. But you, my friend, you are on your way to San Diego, California, which I don't believe you have. You've never played there, right?
I've never played there. I've been there numerous times. I've been there on tour with other artists that I've represented, but I've never
Docksiders have not
played there as the Docksiders before. Correct. Yeah.
So
that April 13th.
Yeah. Anybody watching the show, it's Ramona Backstage. It's outside of San Diego a little bit. I talked to a couple of friends today to get them to go to your show. Anybody watching, if you know anybody in San Diego and you know the Docksiders and you've seen them, you know it's a party. It's a killer show. Please tell your friends about it. Help them fill that room. It's tough as an artist hitting a new market. It's a build and it takes time. It would be really amazing. And you do a money back guarantee on your shows, right, Kevin?
We do. We give them free tickets to Reckless in Vegas. If they don't like the Docksiders.
No,
we push them to you.
We agreed we're going to give dissatisfied customers tickets to the Marco Tool Show, which is on a Wednesday, the third Wednesday of every month out at Anthem, right? At Freedom Hall.
We can ask him very shortly. That is a great transition before we bring this gentleman into the conversation. I hope you're ready for this, Marco Tool.
Who is he? Who is this guy?
Let's talk about Marco Tool.
Yeah.
Really quickly, started in the Boston Children's Theater. We got to ask him some questions about this.
I don't even know what that is. I have no idea.
Did he play Oliver when he was a kid? He was in his first band at 16 years old. Jay Thomas, the icon, invited him on his radio show. He had an incredible stint there. He moved to Las Vegas, and from Vegas, he wound up on Star Search. He was voted the Las Vegas Entertainer of the Year, the Las Vegas Lounge Performer of the Year, and he is in the Las Vegas Fans Hall of Fame. Before we bring this gentleman on, let's show a clip of Marco Tool on the Jerry Lewis Muscular Dystrophy Telethon. Here.
Tool. You got some sleep. You're ready to go. Let's hear it for this guy. Come on.
I can see you've been burned by the flames of love before. can understand why you decided to close that door. Love is thunder and lightning. Sometimes it's frightening, but I'll be here right by your side. And what good is a sunset standing there all by yourself? And what good is a dream if you can't share?
Ladies and gentlemen, the world famous Mark O'Toole is with us.
This is riveting.
You country boy, you got country in you, man.
Question for you
I
before
have
we
my-
dig into
I
this.
got my ticket because I went and saw you.
Yay!
That was my first time seeing you, Michael.
This is about you, Mark. This is
Mark, quick question for you. I noticed on the floor when you were performing at the MDA Telethon, they had a Star of David. Is that for just the Jewish performers to stand on? Because I noticed you weren't standing on it.
Did you miss your Mark? Did you? Hey, Mark misses Mark.
What?
It's I get so nervous in front of so many people. How many people are listening? Like 10? What's going on?
What do we got? We've got 97 people watching us.
Really?
right
No
now.
kidding?
We have
I think so.
970 people watching Mark.
652. Yeah, let's be real. We got 6 listeners. That's all we've got.
6 years. This isn't. Look, for one thing, Mark. Look, I know this is gonna be hard for you to understand. This is not for anybody else. This is for you, Mark. This is for Kevin. This is for me. This is the 3 of us hanging out. And if somebody wants to watch it, great. Otherwise, we don't give a fuck. All right?
No, we don't.
No.
And by the way, my show is on the first and third Wednesday of every month.
Can't get everything perfect, man. I got to have a couple of mistakes. Otherwise, first and third Wednesday of every month, twice a month.
And Kevin just joined the team yesterday.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I'm proud to be an American. Willie Sparcher is free. What was with this song choice? Did you choose this song, or did they choose the song for you? The clip that we just saw on the MDA Telethon.
Actually, after Star Search, I had like a little bit of a little record deal, and I went down to Nashville and I cut an original album. And I worked with a lot of great people, and it went nowhere, just like most projects that we all do. So
I'm about to release an album that's going to go nowhere too. So don't feel, I'm feeling joining the club.
yeah, I mean,
That's not true. It goes out into the ether, you guys, and it's an accomplishment. It's esteemable. It's beautiful. What do you mean?
I recorded an album with the Les Brown Orchestra, and I worked with people from Santana, and who was the other? Keith Olsen produced the album, and he's a it was a great album. But again, if you don't work on it, you don't have the right people behind you. Kind of fall.
That's the album. That's the album that I heard. You turned me on to it. We were talking one day, and I went on a Apple Music rabbit hole with you, and it incredibly produced amazing songs. You sounded fantastic. It's very disheartening to see somebody with your talent put out something like that. And that I mean, I think you probably were a big star, and then I don't know how you pulled it off, but you sort of kind of like disappeared. So, how does one do that?
What happened was, I was doing very well after Star Search, and then I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and I was in the hospital for 2 years.
There it is, man. Right.
So after that, I had to reinvent myself, like most of us did, like during the pandemic. But this was worse.
Mm-hmm.
But and during that time, I had to think about who I wanted to become, and as I got through that, I got a little older, and the town kind of washed up. Country music was, the lounges, everything was just shutting down. So I was really in a dilemma. So I started to think, I worked with Barry Manilow in '87, and I knew his music so well that I decided to travel the world with that. So that's what I did. And so I did that for 3 years on the cruise ships. And then most people know in 2020, March of 20, I think, when the world shut down, they lost me at sea. They actually lost me with 900 passengers, and I was barricaded on a ship with barbed wire in the middle of near Iraq, and with no hope to get back. And so after that, I said, shit on that, time to do a land show. So I was approached by Sun City Anthem to pursue this show, which is the #1 selling show in Las Vegas right now. And I couldn't be prouder because been I've done everything I've always wanted to do, really have. And now I find that at my age that my goal is to bring the community together, to bring the talent out, and really put a great show together and make sure that all the people that aren't getting a chance to be seen are getting a chance to be seen.
Is there barbed wire on the show? Do you do the barbed wire around the?
Yes, you're going to be on the show coming up, right? In
I'm excited about that. I'm excited about it. So you're saying that the cruise ships, that's when you after you kick the shit out of cancer and got your life back, the first thing you went out and did professionally was to go do cruise ships, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I was a big Barry Manilow fan, and so I hooked up with a lot of his band members, went in the studio and recorded the click tracks, and really I went all out. And then
did he try telling his band, like, fuck this Barry guy, you guys could do better with me?
Well, I mean, listen, he's 82. There's no doubt in my mind that if he died, I'd have a comeback. But
I'll make a call for you if you want.
He's doing great. It's Barry Manilow, and he's amazing. But
amazing.
Right now, I'm really happy with what I'm doing because I'm really helping a lot of our friends be seen, be heard, promote them. And Vegas, has changed a lot, but the community here, we are very strong. We are very tight knit, and we really have each other's back.
Yeah,
Speaking of that, we have a question from somebody watching. I'm going to put it at the bottom of the screen from Patrick. Question mark, your professional life in Vegas has been over the top. Kudos. Question, how do you feel Las Vegas has treated you on a personal level?
I think excellent. I think you make it your own. I think that we are presented with a lot of different situations, and we have to realize it's our own journey and what we want to do with it, who we want to hang out with, what do we want to be remembered for. So for me, there was no doubt in my mind in the last chapter of my last 15 years of entertaining that I'm going to be doing. I'm 63, I'm going to be 64 this year, is to really help my fellow performers, entertainers, I think it's so gratifying to me. It really is. And I never thought that the show would be as successful as it is. I mean, we're selling 600 seats in an hour, and I'm very blessed. I mean, I want to be a smart ass today, but I just can't right now.
I would like to know so if you're all about helping other artists, why are we paying $2,500 to be on your show? I don't understand that.
Yeah, did you get that invoice too?
Yeah, I did, and I thought, God, that's audacious, right? He's so giving and everything, but wow,
big time.
I do pay my guests, except in 2 shows.
Except us.
No,
I'm kidding about it.
If you're coming on my show to promote your show, do not get paid, because I get phone calls. I book 2-3 months in advance.
Yeah.
And my whole thing too is there's so many wonderful performers out here, and what I'm noticing is nothing against our friends who are seen in the limelight over and over again, but there's new, fresh, upcoming faces and people who just don't get the attention they deserve. And I'm kind of sick of that. To just say the F word, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But really want people to understand that there's a multitude of people here that deserve to be seen other than the same 5 people. And so that's my goal. And that's why I think we're doing well. We are every show different. We have 6 or 7 guests that you never hear of, people from The Voice or America's Got Talent or coming in from LA or doing, celebrities in sports. I mean, whatever. I mean, we're really trying to put it out there for the people.
You're doing a great thing, Mark. And I know everybody who's ever been on the show that I've talked to has had a blast, which is a huge part of it. I do have an upcoming singer for you. Her name is Madison Williams. You should check her out. And she's incredible.
I love her.
I saw her play at Virgin in the lounge there with tracks by herself, and she crushed it, which we all know is a hard thing to do.
And not push the agenda too, but I've got an upcoming singer for you too. His name's Max Zucker. He's 9 years old. And
can I be honest with you? So one of the things I really want to do, and I've already approached this idea, is I went to UNLV. I went to the jazz department, and what I'd like to start doing, and they have agreed to do it. It's a process. Is to start feature younger people, savants, kids who are in college, singers, dancers, whatever, rather than just the same old thing. And that's why I loved your show. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, but Michael, I really, you know what it is? I think we've heard like Sway, we've heard Elvis, we've heard all these songs a million times through the years. And I really dug your show, man. I just really enjoyed it. That was my first time, and it was really great.
Blah, blah.
No, really, you know what it is? I mean, you can't sing very well, but you're a hell of a guitarist.
Yeah, for me, it's about challenging ourselves with not a cover song, but take a piece of music and rearrange it and make the arrangement original to the artist that's doing the rearranging. And that way, when I perform it, I feel like I'm playing an original piece of music, because there are some terrific acts in this town, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. But for me, as an original songwriter, I really needed to find something that was going to stimulate me for a long period of time, and I still love it. 12 years later, I still love doing it, so that's some of it too.
And I know you love talking about yourself, but must be amazing for you right now. But you know what? If I looked like you, and Kevin and me, we agree. If we looked like you, we'd be talking about ourselves.
You do, and you are, and you do. Just so you know, maybe you're not aware. You're so blinded by your beauty that you talk about yourself a lot. You figure out a way, even in a text.
Did you see what Aaron said? I put it up on the screen earlier. I'm gonna put it up there again. Look what I put up. What Aaron said about you.
It doesn't age. What the fuck? What's going on, Mark? How you doing?
Got a facelift.
Oh, come on.
I did about 6 months ago.
So you're really 75.
Well, parts of me. I used to
Which face did you have lifted?
Let me show you my ass. Hold on.
Yeah.
That's all the time we have for Mark O'Toole today.
Bring it back. Don't do that to him.
I was playing at the South Point, and Ed Foster, we all know Ed Foster, he's a photographer. Yeah. He came and he took some side views and all this, and I was like, shit, but I've got to do something. So I did a little nip and tuck, but you know what? I don't care. People are like, right now.
Did we not mute our phones for the podcast?
I didn't because I have a landline, and my father is. We want to finish the Ed Foster story. Dad, why do you call in the middle of the podcast? Is this the only way you can get?
Lenny wants to be on this podcast, man.
Sorry, goodbye. Goodbye.
He sounded better than you. Put him back on the phone.
He was on last week, actually, and so inadvertently.
Anyway, so I think a lot of people goes. Listen, I know a lot of performers in town have a little work done here and there, and so getting back to that, I have no qualm about it. You're not supposed to talk about it, but I don't have many secrets.
I love that you're open about that, Mark. That's another thing too, is about being authentic. One of the things I loved about Kevin when I met him is just the realness about it, And when you meet entertainers, a lot of times there's just such a front put on, and that's one thing I love about you too, Mark. Is that's something you'd admit. I would never admit that, by the way, but that's okay.
I did some makeup before I went on camera today. My wife came in and did a little touch up. It takes a lot of fucking work to look this mediocre.
You know what? I can't believe you peed in 37 seconds before.
Listen, with the prostate of a 53-year-old, that was some magical shit right there.
I don't think you got it all
in the middle of the night. I'd sleep longer.
You didn't get it all the way out, man. I'm sure.
Half of it's in my pants still. You're right.
Yeah. How is that for you, Mark? Are you peeing okay these days? How is that?
I'm on prostate medication.
You actually shared that with me at one point.
Yeah, I think when you hit a certain age, you go through shit. It's just life. You wake up and go, oh crap, look at this, and that's not there, and what's that? And I sat on my balls last week. I mean,
on purpose. You're into that kind of thing.
So do we really have to look forward? Do we really have to look forward to when you sit on the toilet at your age, we can actually wash our balls at the same time?
Yeah. And it's deep and cold.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think Lisa Fur just put a mean comment up, and
she said it's the plastic surgeon calling you, wants to give you your money back.
Wow.
Hey, Lisa, if I was you, I would keep my secrets to yourself, because I know exactly what you just had done too.
She's got a few secrets, that one, doesn't she?
Hey, Lisa Fur, most beautiful woman I know, most talented woman I know. And here's another woman, right? Here's a woman who I totally respect the shit out of. She is so honest and so good at what she does. And she had a great show at the Notoriety not too long ago. Mm-hmm. And she's just one of those people who, when they open their mouth, you're in awe of their talent. You just can't, there are some people in this town that are right now. There are so many of our new friends coming into town that are going to be killing it. A lot of people who are watching. Watch out for Julian Miranda. He just came in from LA. I've known him for 35
LA. Julian's incredible.
He's incredible.
Hey, Aaron just gave me permission to go on that cruise that Elisa's offered the other day.
I saw that offer.
No. Listen, Elisa said specifically she's looking for somebody gay to take with her. So that's.
But marriage is the same thing, Mark. It's
I got the okay to go. It doesn't mean anything's got to go down, right? Like I can be her buddy and go on a cruise with her.
What do you mean by go down?
Going down means something.
I think that's what he's referring to.
But no, I'm saying Elisa, that was a prerequisite. She does it. She wants somebody gay with her. So
what are you managing her, man? You're being sure the contract's straight. What's going on with you, Mark?
I'm married, but
Yeah.
You're selfish. I've been with a lot of people don't know this because I'm gay, but you know this. Speaking candidly, I mean I've been bisexual. I mean I've been with women my whole life, so I just I just never looked at anything differently. I think that's one of the allure for me. And just speaking, I think that was to my advantage because a lot of people who are straight or gay, they focus on one particular person, the audience maybe, or show much to attention. For me, I just want to please everybody and just have a great time. And so I think people don't feel threatened, like when they see you, they're looking at you like a really good looking guy. They go, look at this guy up here. He knows he's good looking. He's,
I know what you're saying, Mark. I get it all the time.
I don't get it.
I think, enough of this Shapiro shit.
Well, listen, we're gonna see you soon, and
are you just gonna cut me out? Because I know that's what you're.
No, we have more questions for you.
If I do it, just go ahead, do it now. Go ahead.
Evan's got a deep question for you. That I think that we had a bunch of viewers write in, and they wanted to know this about you. Go ahead, Kevin. You can deliver the question for him.
They wanted to know why the choice of country music.
Country music.
When you did the original recordings.
So there was a.
Thanks from Mark O'Toole. We loved having him on the show today. Listen, if you haven't seen a Mark O'Toole show at Sun City Anthem, you'll understand why the tickets aren't available. It's a great, great show. He is an incredible, charismatic host. I've been to the show probably 3 times now. Been a guest on it once, and very honored to have been brought onto the team. I'm going to be helping out on some of the technical side of things behind the scenes, so I'm really excited to lend my hand there and help out a wonderful gift to this Las Vegas community, Mark O'Toole.
Note to self on that, to everybody, is that he's not kidding about these shows selling out there. I mean, I think he's several months sold out in advance. So if you can't get on the one you want to go, look ahead, plan ahead, and grab those tickets early. Help him continue to sell that stuff out, and can't be spontaneous with that one.
Nope.
Right.
Nope.
What a great guy. I loved him from the moment I went to his house for a party, and he had every celebrity in town. And the thing was, it wasn't every celebrity. It was the ones that were real people that were everybody. I had a blast at his parties. He has a lot of parties where it's like, I mean, it's like a show, right?
I always leave with new soaps and oils when I leave his house.
Do you?
I think he's got to check his bathroom because I'm sneaking that shit out with me when I leave.
You don't steal, do you, at people's houses?
No, I didn't say that. They're gifts. He's got them sitting out on the countertop. That's a gift.
I stole this actually.
From where?
From Weiland, the artist Weiland. You know,
the guy
Weiland?
who paints whales.
Yeah, he paints whales, and he was at my dad's gallery at the time, and he turned his back.
Wow.
It's good to see you, Weiland. I'll see you later. And then
I've had it. I see some canvases behind you. You've been working on some paintings.
Yeah, I started in the sense that I pulled out some old stuff just to look at it and kind of get inspiration. And we are going to paint. I think the goal here is, and ladies and gentlemen, if you want to help us out with this, give us some feedback around the length of these. So we wanted to keep them at 30. We went to 47 on one or 41 on one. We're at 29 now, which would be the cutoff point, but we are going to paint, and that's the premise of the show. Mr. Bob Ross, he such an inspiration, and we haven't quite. Did you see that movie, by the way, Owen Wilson?
Since we talked about it last?
Yeah.
No.
Have you ever seen it? Have we talked about it?
No. I don't want to see Owen Wilson play Bob Ross.
So have we talked about this? Because I don't.
I do an Owen Wilson impersonation.
You do it.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
You didn't like Owen Wilson in the Royal Tenenbaums? It was great.
Um,
He was all heroined out, man. It was great.
yeah,
Great
I didn't
movie.
like that film either. Yeah, I didn't. I'm
Well,
not a fan.
that kind of humor not good for you?
No, believe it or not, I have a bit of a sense of humor, but
This
I
is a
just
guy that falls asleep 60 seconds into a movie. So I don't know if you know what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
you said some things. He said some things.
You want to share the new idea with the painting because we are going to paint.
I think we should. I
Your
think
wife
what we're
came up
gonna
with a
do.
brilliant idea.
I think we're gonna do, and I got to give credit to Erin Suker for this
Yeah.
because she
Thank
came
you,
up with
Aaron.
it.
Thank you, Aaron.
She said, "Oh wait, before we go, my wife sits in another room and listens to this podcast. She said I
Wedding
like
Crashers
Owen
is great.
Wilson in Wedding
Yeah.
Crashers.
Yep.
I love that film.
Great film.
Thanks, honey." But Erin came up with this really, really wonderful idea, and I think we're going to start doing this every week during the podcast. We are going to paint and we are going to talk, and we're going to bring on guests, like we said we were from the very beginning.
Mhm.
At the end of the episode, you and I will share that painting that we made. It doesn't have to
Yep.
be massive.
So
And
we'll
we're
do
going
little
to put
ones.
it on our website for our friends and families and anybody that follows us to purchase. You can have an original Suker, or you can have an original Shapiro, or you can have
Schefter.
one of each. Every single penny we raise, we're going to donate to charity. We haven't figured out yet if we're going to do it weekly or we're going to just collect a big sum of money for the season of the podcast and make one contribution, but we'll figure it out as we go along, kind of like we've been figuring out other things as
I
we've
think
gone
it's
along.
I think it's a threshold. I don't think we should price these, and I think whoever puts the biggest amount on it, they get it, and that large
So like an
amount.
auction, right? They're
Kind of an
auctioning.
auction thing. We got to figure it out. Just so we got to figure out how we're going to do the cameras with the painting. We actually started this podcast. This is number 4, way prematurely. We had an idea. Kevin. Next thing I know, Kevin goes, "Hey, we have a podcast today." That's how Kevin rolls. He gets stuff done, and we haven't figured out the logistics on any of this. We have lots of ideas. One thing about the two of us, though, we will accomplish the goals that we set forth and make commitments to anybody who's watching this. Okay, I can't speak for Kevin. I will be sure. That's a new one. Oh,
This
usually
is
it's like,
great. I like it when you talk about these positive things. Like you're a
oh,
positive guy. I don't think that you put on this image like, you got this thing, but I think it's good for people to hear this positivity that you exude.
do my sideburns look good?
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
I think
if
it's
it fucking 1968 called and want their fucking sideburns back.
1972. Get the year right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you, Mr.
I used to have sideburns like that.
You used to? Let me see what
I
you have
did.
going on right now.
I used to have these big old chops. You know what I'm going to do for next podcast?
Shave
I'm going to
this?
find a picture of me with the fucking sideburns, just so
Yeah.
I can show you.
I really want to thank Mark O'Toole for joining us today.
I do
it was
too.
really cool. Yeah. And who are we going to have next week?
I don't know. I think
You want to get another narcissist on? Let's get Vincent John. He'd be great. What do you think? Should we try to get Vincent?
is he back in town? Can we get him back on?
I don't know if he's back in town. If not, we can do. We won't tell Chris Phillips this, but he wasn't our first choice. But if Vincent can't do it, then we'll have Chris Phillips, Zoe Boy will do it. And if anything about Chris Phillips is, anyone would think he's a narcissist, but you know what? He's not. He's like the nicest guy on the planet.
Love Chris.
He's
the
great
sweetest
guy.
heart in the world.
Yeah.
And nothing warms my heart more than throwing this picture up.
He's in the
Standing
middle.
next to Chris and
Yeah.
Vin and Jimmy. Look at those guys.
All I know, man, is you. I just can't get past you. You're Cindy Brady with a beard.
With a beard.
Bearded Cindy Brady. And Chris is in the middle. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't recognize him there, that is Zoe Bowie, Chris Phillips. We're going to ask him second. Well, he'd be third because we have Mark O'Toole as our first guest.
2 questions for our audience today, the 6 of you. Who would you like to see on the podcast? Please put it in the comments today.
Yeah, good one.
And number 2, how long is long enough to listen to the two of us schmucks talk? We're at 34 and a half minutes right now.
I think it's
We'll
35.
take your comments to heart. Let us know. Can you go an hour, or is 30 minutes the window?
You can now listen to these on Apple Music. We're on Spotify, YouTube. So like the page, continue to help us build this thing. And we all want to see you in a dress next to, okay, Elizabeth, I don't know what you mean.
She saw the picture of us doing the Spice Girls, and she said, you're next in the dress.
Yeah, I dressed in drag when I was 13 for Halloween one time, and I was so invigorated by it that I just can't do it. I'm afraid of it. it warmed my heart in a way that I was like, I'm gonna be too into this kind of thing,
I'm
you know.
calling
And
bullshit on that one.
no, it really it was freeing.
A Little Lavender, right?
A Little Lavender.
Being in touch. Well, thank you for joining me today, my friend. It was always good chatting with you.
Good chatting with you, my brother. We'll see you next Tuesday. What is the date on that date? A week from today.
Can you look at the calendar? What does it say?
I don't have a calendar. I don't know what calendar.
It's